going to be back again with another video. This is Autumn Pretty, me and my cheetah print robe. So that means it's, well, it's not late, but it is nighttime. So I'm going to prep my face with the NYX Prime Base. So I have the MAC Prep and Prime on my face and I'm rubbing in. Then I take my spoolie and I brush my eyebrows up. And then I'm taking my Anastasia brow definer in dark brown and I fill my eyebrows in. And then I'm taking the MAC pomade dip down, I believe that's what it is. It's my favorite, and I always use this to fill my eyebrows in. I always use the Anastasia and the MAC. And I take the spoolie and I brush all of it together, blend it very well. Then I take the Mabeline Lash Sensational Concealer to clean under my eye. You know, you always take a light concealer to clean up under your eye and go slow so you will not mess up. I'm blending this concealer all under my eyes on my own eyelid because I'm using this as an eyeshadow base. So that's why I go ahead and I just blend it all the way down. I make sure I blend it very well. And on the top of my brow, I'm taking my LA Girl, I forgot what color it is. But I take that. I take a color that's neutral to my skin color and I use that for the top. And then I blend it all together. I don't like to use a light concealer at the top because it gives you that halo effect and it's ugly as shit. Stop doing that. And for the eyes, I'm taking the MAC brow down. I'm putting that in my crease and I'm blending that in very well. Make sure I pack on that color very good so I can get a very pigmented color. Just pack it on in there and then you just blend it all into your crease. You just blend, 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 blend. Okay, and then I'm going to go into the Color Story palette Karma, and then I'm going to take that Fate and put that on my lid. And I just pack that on very good to get it very pigmented. It's a nice color. And for my third color, I am using the same palette and I'm using the color Felicity. And I'm putting that on like my brow bone just so I can blend out that brow down that I had put in my crease so I don't have no harsh lines. You just blend it all in together to get a smooth blended effect and just have all the colors blended in very well. And then for my wing liner, I'm using the e.l.f. black wing liner. I'm using e.l.f. black liquid eyeliner for my wing.
Stay high for the most of time. Meet a stranger, jump right in your climb. Waking up on your sofa.
And then I'm using Maybelline Lash Sensational for my eyelashes because I'm about to put my lashes on. The lashes I use, can't remember, I got it from Target. But anyways, make sure you get the glue tacky before you put the lash on. That helps.
Baby, I'm lost, I'm fading now. Baby, I'm lost, I'm fading now. Tell me if you wanna go sometime. Yeah, we could be alone tonight.
Now I'm taking my favorite foundation, Fenty in 420. Well, first I'm taking the remainder of that concealer, which is Maybelline Paris and Cocoa. I said something else earlier, my bad. But yes, I use that to cover my dark spots, and then I go in and I put the foundation over my whole face. I use a beauty blender and I make sure that it's damp so that the sponge doesn't soak up all the product. And I just blend. And for my highlight, I'm taking my favorite concealer, which is the I believe it's Tart, and it's in Deep. I put that under my eye, my nose, forehead, his brow, chin. And I take that same beauty blender and I blend that in. And I blend. I start from the bottom, then work my way up, because you don't want your eyes to get real cakey with concealer. And you want to make sure you blend out all harsh lines. You do not want to look very harsh. Make sure you just keep blending until you get it to the perfection that you want. And then I take a little bit of that Mabeline, just to give them a little bit more of a highlight. Not too bright, but just to give me a nice glowy highlights. And then to contour, I take Black Radiance True Complexion, and I put that on my cheeks, forehead, temple, the bridge of my nose, and the sides of my cheeks. I do that, and I just blend it in. I take me a blending brush, and I use that to blend it all in. And then I take the same beauty blender to help blend everything in. And then I buff it all out, take that contour and brush it into my highlight so there's no harsh lines when the highlight and the contour meet together. You don't want that. And to set that cream contour, I'm using Black Radiance in Rich Mahogany. And I use that to just set the concealer so it don't peel off. And just give it that finishing touch. Whenever you use concealer, whenever you use anything, you pretty much gotta set it so it can last throughout the whole night. And I make sure I get that nose snatched real well. Now, I am not a professional makeup artist, so I'm still learning. I have gotten better. But then the highlights that highlight under my eye, to set the highlight under my eye, I am using the Black Opal Deluxe Finishing Powder in medium. Don't use too much. A lot goes a long way. I was a little heavy-handed, but I'm not going nowhere. But make sure you don't use too much. And if you got to go back into your contour just to make sure everything is blended well and in its place, that's fine. Because I'm sure to take that same brush, not using extra product, but just to blend it in more into that highlight, so it just all blends in very well. Like I say, the key to makeup is just all about blending. Whatever you do, just keep fucking blending.
I'm fading now, baby, I'm lost, I'm fading now. Tell me if you wanna go sometime. Yeah, we could be alone tonight.
And I'm going back in with that liquid eyeliner just to clean up under my eyes because I had a lot of powder. I had a lot of powder, not a lot of powder, but I got powder under my eye and it just took away from the eyeliner. And then to put blush on my cheeks, I use Black Radiance Baked Bronzer, which I love this blush, which is very cute. And to highlight my cheeks and my nose, my temple, I'm using Black Radiance Contour Palette, medium to dark. The highlighter that came with the palette, I used that. And I put that on my nose, my temple. And then I just take MAC Skin Finishing Powder in dark, and I use that to just set everything and to wipe off any excess powder. And the colors that I use on my eyes, the eyeshadows I use in my eyes, I put that under my eye just to give it like a little bit of a smoky look. Not too much, but you know where I'm going at. The same colors that I had used.
Sometime, yeah, we could be alone tonight. Baby, I'm lost, I'm fading now. Baby, I'm lost, I'm fading now.
Then to set everything, I'm using the NYX Dewy Finishing Setting Spray. And for my lips, I prop my lips with MAC Lip Primer. And for my lip liner, I'm using a cremstick liner crayon by MAC. Don't really know the color of it, it just says cremstick. And I filled my lips in with that.
This high, oh my God, can I stay this high?
And And I blend that lip liner in to give it like an ombre effect. And the first color I'm taking is the MAC Retro Matte Liquid in Back in Vogue. And then I take NYX Soft Mattes and Canes. I use about 3 colors. And I blend it all in until I get the kind of color that I want. And use my fingers to just blend it all in good. And then, you know, I add a third color, which is MAC Retro Matte Liquid color, and it's called So Me. I put that in the middle. You don't want to use too much because your lip's going to be cracked. So you kind of got to move quickly. But like again, when you prime your lips, you won't have too much of that chapped effect. So you just blend that all in and you get what you want.